You ever get that feeling that your favorite movies and shows are all in on some kind of secret joke? Well, guess what? They are. They're all talking to each other, all the time, using this hidden language. And today, we're going to give you the key to unlock it all.
Okay, so let's dive in with a classic moment that I bet feels weirdly familiar to a lot of you.
All right, picture this, a scene from The Simpsons. You've got Maggie, the baby, creeping up on Homer while he's in the shower, and she's holding a mallet. The whole thing is shot like a classic horror movie, and it's absolutely hilarious. But why? Why is that so funny? What's really going on there? Well, there's a hidden layer, a reference that your brain is catching even if you don't realize it.
So, that secret language? It actually has a name, and it's the key to understanding how pretty much all our media really works. And here it is, the big word, intertextuality. It sounds kind of academic, right? But all it really means is the relationship between different media texts. It's when one piece of media, like a movie, gives a nod to another one. And when I say text, I'm not just talking about books. It could be a film, a TV show, a music video, you name it. It's basically how creators weave this giant, invisible web of meaning, connecting their work to everything that came before.
And look, this is way more than just throwing in a fun little wink or an Easter egg for the fans. It's an incredibly powerful creative tool. I mean, it's the secret ingredient that creators use for everything from building a world from scratch to ramping up the drama or, making you laugh your head off.
So, how do they actually use it? Well, it breaks down into a few key functions. For one, it can set a theme or a mood super quickly. It's also a great way to pay homage, to give a nod to the classics. And like we saw with The Simpsons, it's an absolute powerhouse for creating comedy.
Okay, but how does this actually work? Well, the real magic here is just how efficient it is. The best way to think about it is like a shortcut to meaning.
See, the whole thing is built on a kind of partnership between the person who made the show and you, the viewer. They plant a reference, betting that you've got this library of cultural knowledge floating around in your head. The moment you recognize it, that connection just clicks, and boom, meaning is created instantly.
The process is actually pretty simple. You can break it down into 3 steps. Step 1, a creator embeds a reference. Could be a camera angle, a line of dialogue, anything. Step 2, you, the audience, recognize it. And step 3, bam. All the emotions, all the themes, all the baggage from that original thing gets instantly transferred over.
Think about Stranger Things, for example. The creators didn't have to waste a ton of time explaining the vibe of their world. Nope. They just showed us some kids on bikes, threw in some spooky 80s synth music, and our brains immediately went to movies like E.T. or Poltergeist. Just like that, the whole theme of childhood adventure meets supernatural horror was set up in minutes.
And it's the same deal for adding serious emotional weight. When the old-school Spider-Man heroes and villains show up in No Way Home, the movie doesn't need to give us their whole backstory from square one, right? It just borrows decades of story and our emotional connection to those characters. The stakes immediately feel so much higher because their entire history just walks into the room with them. Now, this whole technique is actually the foundation for 2 big genres that I guarantee you know: parody and pastiche.
So, what's the difference? Parody versus pastiche. It really just comes down to intent. A parody, well, it takes an idea and exaggerates it to be funny. The whole point is to make you laugh through that recognition. A pastiche, on the other hand, imitates the style of another work, but as a tribute. It's not making fun, it's paying respect. It's a form of flattery.
Which brings us right back to the beginning. That Simpsons scene, that's a perfect parody. It takes that iconic, terrifying shower scene from Hitchcock's Psycho, right? But it swaps the knife for a mallet and the blood for paint. It completely exaggerates the original to flip horror into pure comedy. And the fact that we recognize it, that's the punchline.
And for pastiche, a great example is Iggy Azalea's music video for Fancy. It's not mocking the movie Clueless, not at all. It's lovingly recreating the fashion, the sets, the famous scenes. The goal isn't to get a laugh, it's homage. It's a tribute that wants to borrow all that cool, stylish mood from the original film.
But here's the most important thing to remember. This is so much more than just a clever little Easter egg for die-hard fans to spot.
You know, this quote from the source material really nails it. It says, intertextuality is a sophisticated tool for meaning-making. See, an Easter egg is a fun bonus, sure, but intertextuality is baked right into the storytelling. It's a fundamental part of how these creators build richer, deeper, more meaningful worlds for us. And what's really amazing is that the whole system runs on this kind of unspoken agreement between the creators and us. It relies on what you could call a shared cultural vocabulary, that whole library of movies, shows, and songs we all carry around in our heads. It actually turns us into active participants in making the story mean something.
So from now on, when you're watching something, keep your eyes and ears peeled, because you're not just watching a show anymore, you're listening in on this huge, secret conversation that's been going on for decades. Now that you know the secret language, what conversations are you going to notice next?